Okay, we are going to jump in here a little bit early, about 15 minutes early today, but I figure that really shouldn't be any kind of a big deal. Got the mic show. It looks like I'm getting decent spikes, unless something is funny. Let me check this real quick, because it does seem a little bit off compared to what I've been getting on my spikes, and I don't want that to be an issue later on. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is set at 59, which I don't know why my computer is doing that lately. I try to keep this anywhere from 70 to 80, and for some reason it has not. It's been resetting the mic, and I don't know why it's doing that. So we're going to put it back up to 80, and hopefully that should be enough. In fact, I'm getting like super red spikes, so we're actually going to take it all the way down to 70, and then we'll see how that works for the night. But I don't know why my computer's doing that. But lately my computer keeps wanting to take the mic back down to like 50. And I have no idea why. But it looks like I have fixed it, so whatever. My one soda of the week here. I'm moving back into my diet 100%. And I'm doing all my exercises and everything like that, so I gotta take it back off. I put some back on. I've got to be honest. I gotta get a starting point. I gotta weigh myself again and see where I gotta come down to. But it won't matter. We will get there. Got there before. I'll get there again. And I haven't really put that much on. I could tell because my pants sizes haven't really increased. I just notice that I'm heavier than I'm supposed to be for what it's worth. No, today. We do have a couple of things that we're going to be going over, a deal of things, actually. Like normal, we always have stuff that we're going over. What's up, Protocol? But aside from stuff that we need to go over, I do have an unboxing that I want to do here today because I want to see if she was worth the hype. I found one. I hunted one down, and I finally got my hands on it. I had to be patient, because when she went away, and her prices were going up, and I finally got one for a good price. I got the Power Princess, and I want to see, because everything that I'm seeing, everybody else that seems to have got her loves her. They all seem to think that she was sculpted very well, and that she's an absolute standout for like Marvel Legends female characters. Here's hoping. Here's honestly hoping, because that would be fantastic. I would love a 6-inch scale Wonder Woman. Let's be honest about what this is, right? Let me do this. I mean, let's be honest here. She's Wonder Woman. I mean, that's what she is. And I love some of these videos that I've seen that have come out that make her Wonder Woman, like the customizing videos and stuff like that. Some of those are absolutely awesome videos. And some of them don't even seem that ultra complicated either. Like with a decent amount of skill. I'm not saying like just for your first one you're ever going to do or whatever, you've never painted anything, but some of the tutorials and whatnot that are out there, that they'll paint them right in front of you, and they'll tell you how they're doing it, the exact lacquers and things, and then so when they go through it and they tell you how to do it, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do yourself, in all honesty. I need to get in contact with I have a nephew, and he does this kind of stuff. Like that's what he does specifically. Yeah, he has a job and everything like that, but he does some YouTube stuff and whatnot, and he does customizing and paints for like miniatures and models and things like that. I need to get in touch with him and talk to him about some ideas that I have, and then maybe he could go over it with me. Or if it came down to it, maybe I could even work something out with him where I send him some of my stuff. He makes it, does a video or whatever, and then sends it back to me. And that would be cool too, because I do have some ideas. I have some like real good, legit ideas. So let's start with that. Let's start with the unboxing. Let's see her out of this box. And then we will move on to tonight's stuff, because there is some there's a couple things that we need to talk about. Like without a doubt, there's a couple things we need to talk about tonight because I bought into something. First off, that I'm very excited about. If you follow my Instagram, you probably already know what that is. And also, there's always new product coming out. We already know that. So, let's go ahead and start this part. I'm just cut the side here. Nothing too complicated. You know, I don't care that much. I'm not going to save this box. I'm just not. I'm an opener. Anybody that's new that's showing up that doesn't know that I'm an opener, that is shocked and amazed or something like that, look, I open my figures, and I don't care how much they cost and things of that nature. That's what I'm doing. I'm opening them because I need to hold them. I need to display them. I need to see them. That's me, man. That's just me. I will say the sub count went up a little bit. I noticed that. So there are some new people here. I don't know if they'll be in the stream tonight. I don't know, like you know, if they got notifications or anything like that. But I'm noticing, I think I'm up to like 960 now. So we are going up slowly but surely here, surprisingly, actually. Like, ever since I went full to Toy Tube, it's been a great benefit. And it not just in terms of the show and of sub count and things like that. It's been good for me. Like, this is something that I walked away from for a long time. Collecting, writing, and getting into stuff like this and being a part of this kind of fandom was something that was very important to me for years and years and years and years. And then when I started Fandom Night, I stepped away from all of it. I did. I stepped away from all of it and started like doing my own stuff with like Fandom Night. And I put all my stuff on the back burner for a long, long time. And this has been very much an awakening the last 2 years to come back to the stuff and refocus on me, a heavier influence, heavier focus on me and the things that are like important to me and the things I want to do and the things I want to see and get my space back and collect and whatnot. And I remember when I started doing it, I even got a question from one of the guys, on Fandom Night, that because we used to use this as our recording studio, and he was like, how are we all going to fit in here if you keep collecting stuff? And I was like, we're not. I'm sorry, but that's the direction that I'm moving right now. I gotta take care of me. And this is something that I need to do for me, and that's where we are now. You know, I'm not going to get this entire line. But I will admit that this creature thing is sick. Like, it's really cool. In terms of the cross-sell on the back here, we have Power Princess, which you knew I was going to get her. I kind of like this Crystar. I don't know anything about him, but I kind of like him. He would be number 2. He would be some of the tentacles. See, I don't need number 3. Number 4 would be okay. The Black Panther comes with nothing. I don't know. I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm not going to build the Void, which is almost a shame because he is like a straight up, like a straight up Conan the Barbarian, Cthulhu madness character type of scary thing, and that would be really cool for the shelf. But I'm not going to collect a bunch of characters that I have zero interest in, just so that I can get the one Build-A-Figure. We've talked about this before. That's even a video on the channel. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Her sword is decent. Not that you'll necessarily be able to see it all that well on this camera, but it is really good. Like, it is Marvel Legends quality. So I'm not blowing my mind here. I have better swords on the shelf from like Loose Collector and things like that. And actually even Motu actually does better weapons than this, but it's not bad. For what it is, it actually isn't bad. And since Marvel Legends, at least in my experience, and it very much deals with the kind of characters that I collect, often don't come with like a lot of weapons anymore. Because like I get Spider-Man and things like that, and Spider-Man and X-Men and Rogue and all these other different things, and like the Fantastic Four, they're not really coming with like guns and swords and stuff of that nature. So like I don't often see them in the line, and when I do, it's about this quality. This is good, but it is very much kind of what I expected. And the shield is about the same thing. It's a fine shield. It'll work. It looks like it has decent detail, but it's not going to blow anybody's mind, is what I'm talking about. This is just kind of a neat little thing that you have now, and you're going to add it to your character, and that's fine, but it doesn't blow our minds. It absolutely doesn't. I will say, however, these hands seem really good. Like, I'm being serious here. I almost can't believe it. I don't know if these hands were built specifically for this character or what, and I know this camera can't show it to you. My live camera cannot show it to you, but you could see the veins on the top of her hand. Like, that is a ridiculous amount of detail that I'm going to hand it to Marvel Legends right now. At least on her hands, you can see the actual vein work of the top of her hand. And like, I'm looking at, like, I could see the individual finger creases and things like that. This is good. Like, this is really good. I'm legit impressed with the hands. And so now, figure time. I probably should have saved your ears. I'm sorry. Put that down there. Put that down there. Put that down there, because we'll be getting rid of that. And here she is. Okay, well, one of the first things I always like to look at is the face. And I think that's solid. I think that's actually really good. Let me see if I can get that to focus in here. Come on. I do think that face is very solid. The body sculpt is very solid as well. This is all really good. I'm kind of impressed here. We have the double elbows. So we have that elbow joint that I like, and it's really solid on her. She can take her arm pretty far up the gauntlet, and her bicep get in the way a little bit because she's like strong for a woman character, which is actually good. I'm actually happy about that. We've talked about that before with things like Red Sonja and Wonder Woman. I actually prefer them to have a little bit of muscle. I like them to look like they're warriors. If they're gonna live that Conan the Barbarian lifestyle thing, I'd like to see that. She has the knees, which I'm happy about. These boots are really good. And there's a lot of quality here in terms of, like, okay, so it looks like they designed her with the high heels, but they flattened it out. I'm fine with that. I'm actually 100% fine with that. She still has the effect of standing on her heels, but she will be able to stand. In fact, and there she is. Yep, I got her. I know you can't see it, but I got her stand right like that. No problem at all. I'm impressed with the head. I got full turn. She can't really look up. She can look down. She can mega brood, but she can't really look a little bit. It's tough. She's got a lot of movement here, a decent amount of movement. I mean, for what she is, that's pretty good. She has the swivels here, which is the thighs and everything. The boots go all the way around as well. Okay, yeah, I don't see trade markings yet, and I know those are often hidden on the character. There it is. So her markings for like the Marvel logo and everything are on her inner thigh. That's actually pretty good, because we'll be able to hide that pretty easily if I use her for any kind of photography or sets or anything like that. I like her design a lot. I think she is very well done. I'm kind of impressed. We got the T-pose that works out real nice. Her stuff moves all the way around. She's got a click, actually, about her, which is kind of good. I mean, she's one of those characters that as I move her around, I can kind of lock her joints into place here and there. I'm liking this. I'm liking the bust. It's actually really good. She's got solid abs, which I'm actually really impressed with. This is actually something here. It's not just like painted on, it's an actual thing. And they weren't scared of giving her, she has them, okay? But they didn't go crazy. They didn't like overdo it to a point where it was like ridiculous or vulgar. But you can tell that she's built, and she was, of course, ample in the comics. She has a butt. It's not a bad one. We've seen better butts, but this is not a butt character. Let's go ahead and be honest about that. She's a warrior, so we're not looking for that kind of detail anyway. I like this belt. This belt is actually sculpted. It's a raised piece. This is impressive. This is impressive work. I'm actually very impressed. I know why people are using this as a Wonder Woman. Her necklace, I'm having trouble figuring out if it's an extra part or if it's sculpted onto the neckline. I don't seem to be able to move it, but it also doesn't necessarily strike me as something that is sculpted on there. Maybe it is. No, okay, it is a separate piece, but it's you don't want to take it off. I just kind of moved it, and it's got like a little thing where it's pushed in there. So if I did take it off or tried to move it, it would really affect the way this looks. Her sword hand, by the way, let's see. Yep, she's got the wrist that goes out, so she can actually put the sword out. In fact, here, let me just go ahead and do it. So she has this kind of a wrist where she could point it down, she could take it up. It doesn't look like it goes too far. Maybe if we pull the wrist out a little bit more. There. So this is about what we can get, which is not bad. I wish the hand gripped it a little better, but this is about the right here. So we can get this kind of a thing going on, which is not bad at all. I think sword hands should do this. I don't think they should do this. I think this should become an absolute standard of character features and whatnot in lines now. There we go. That just clips right on there. I'm a little worried about that clip, though. Let me be honest with you, because the clip goes up and around this gauntlet, and it doesn't... I would hate to pull it and then over time pull off the gauntlet or damage the shield piece. That makes me a little iffy. The shield cannot be carried any other way. It does not clip to her back or anything like that. There's nothing there to hold on to. Otherwise, that's about the most that I can say about her, but everything that I see here is a plus. She is fantastic. And both of her hands, even the gripping hands, have that same thing. I can actually see the veins on the top of her hands where she grips. This is impressive. This is one of the more impressive Marvel Legends females that I have opened at all. And maybe it's just a bias because that's kind of like my thing, is I love the warrior women. I love, I grew up on Xena the Warrior Princess. That would be fantastic. Actually, now that I'm looking at her, I wonder what it would have taken. I'll bet you this is close. You could have come real close. If I had the skill set, I would buy another one of her, because I want her on the shelf as Power Princess. But I'll bet you she would almost be worth it. If I had the skill set, she would probably be a decent base to build a Xena. Like, she's pretty much halfway there. A lot of her color scheme and everything is already nice. Her facial features and everything kind of work out. She's strong. She's set. Like, I feel like with very little work, you could form her into a Xena and you wouldn't have that much trouble. That's impressive to me. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Neat. Like legit neat. Very cool. So, this is interesting. You guys have been talking the whole time. What is happening here? There. I apologize. Okay, so I don't know why. I just had to reset my stuff. After you came up and I said, hey, what's up? That was it. Like nothing else has posted. So you guys have been talking and I didn't realize it, so I apologize. I'm now in the chat with you guys. I don't know what happened there because I have my live bar set up on the side here, and it was not receiving anything, which I thought was weird because I was like, why is nobody saying anything when I could very much see that there were like people in the stream? So yeah, awesome. Yeah, so your stuff does the same thing, and yeah, I don't know what that's about. She is nice. Like how I forgot to edit stuff. Let's see. Opener 2, don't mind boxed unless they're smaller and look good on the shelf. Yeah, I've always been an opener, man. I mean, if I buy it, I want to see it, man. I want to see it. I want to hold it. I want to experience it. I want to take photos with it. You know what? I want to play with it. I don't give a shit. I do. And even if it's mild, I don't play like when I was a kid where I'm like, this guy's this guy and they have storylines. But like, I don't care. I want to. I want to like make them run and jump and do poses and do a couple things and move them around the shelves. And I do like the comedy skits and whatnot sometimes at the start of my episodes and things. I want to play with them a little bit. I want to experience them. Why else did I pay the money? Like, why else did it? They're not an investment. Let's be perfectly honest. When I do part with them, I never part with them for the actual money that they would be worth full. And I kind of undersell myself anyway. I'll sell Marvel Legends at like $5 a piece when I do have toy tables or whatever, because like I'm not looking to get rich off them. I'm looking to recoup a little bit of money, like recoup a little bit of my losses and move on with my life and make sure that other collectors got their hit on something as well. That's all I'm worried about. What's going on, Terrence? Hello? Hey, man, what's going on? Yes, for what it's worth, everything is good. Yeah, I am dealing with a couple of things right now. Not necessarily back to like the original health issues. I put on a little bit of weight. It feels a little like wrong. I kind of get diabetic as I put on weight. I'm diabetic type 2, and I'm noticing that there's a couple things that are off about me, so I'm back to working out and things like that. I'll get back on track. I don't feel like I'm nowhere near where I was. I'm easily recoverable at this point, but I really need to watch it. I have a bad habit of letting myself slip during the winter and then like catching myself back up, and it's a habit that I need to break. I need to just deal with it, turn the space heater on, go in the garage and do my workouts. I just need to. It's really stupid to lose myself during the winter and go through this every year, especially when in the long run it could cause bigger damage. Mostly care about weapons when it comes to Deadpool figures. I get that. Let's see. I picked up a few new Spider-Man Marvel Legends figures. Did you get the Scarlet Spider? I did not get the Scarlet Spider. I passed on it. I didn't want to, but like I've talked here all the time, you spend $20 here, you can't spend $20 here. I knew that Tigra was launching, so I did not hunt down the Scarlet Spider, even though I desperately wanted him, because Tigra took priority on this one, because I've already got Dark Wolf and the Barbarian thing, and she's so fantastic, I couldn't pass her up. So I did. I mean, listen, I'll get him eventually. That's where my mind was. Sooner or later, at some point, I will get a Scarlet Spider. I'll hunt him down. If Tigra goes off the market, just like Conan did, I will probably not get one, and it will haunt me. So I took a priority. Good job, man. Good job, Jake. I guess that's true. That's fair. ASMR, this is not. I don't have the voice for something like that. I really don't. I'm very much. I got like a large scale radio voice, so I just don't have that in me to be like, let's check out this figure. Let's enjoy it. Let's really dig into it. Let's hear the plastic crack. I don't have it in me to be that person. And actually, those videos annoy me. Like, I'm not sure why people get into those videos the way they do. They really do. Those videos annoy me. Like, I'm just like, oh, stop it. But I guess I'm just different. Yeah, she is really good all around. She looks like Wonder Woman. Who is she? Since I haven't gone further down the list, I don't know if this has already been answered. She's Power Princess. She's kind of like the knockoff Wonder Woman of the Marvel Universe. She belongs to a group called the Squadron Supreme, which is pretty much the Justice League in the Marvel Universe, and pretty much her entire team is the knockoff versions of that. They have a character that's kind of Batman. They have a character that's pretty much Superman. They have a character that's basically Wonder Woman, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of what they are, is Marvel's kind of take on the Justice League. And the last comic books that I saw of them, it was like pretty extreme. I did not get to read all of them. I only read like one or two. But she was like crazy broken and really cool in the book that I read. And the second I saw they were making a toy, I was like, I have to have Power Princess. But I remember the first time I ever saw Power Princess, I seen her on the cover of like a giant poster. It was like a giant poster. And she was like in the front. And I was like, why is Wonder Woman in this Marvel poster? And I was like blatantly like, who is that? And I had to ask the same question online. I literally posted it. I think it was on TikTok at the time. And I was like, please somebody tell me, who is this Wonder Woman? And then people were like, that's Power Princess, da-da-da-da-da. And then I had to kind of look it up from there on my own. They're made for walking. Yes, we're talking about the boots. I'm catching back up, guys. That is exactly what they'll do. She's standing up. I got to give that to him. I like the high heels thing in terms of certain characters. I like them. It's a fantasy world, right? It doesn't have to be realistic. The high-heeled crazy boots that make no sense for a warrior woman somehow still actually work very well in a fantasy setting. Not a reality setting, a fantasy setting. But when it comes to the figures, sometimes that is a nightmare. Like, they just will not stand up like that. Can she kick her own butt? I don't know how far along we are here, but she cannot. She can't get there. Her thigh muscles are too great. But that's okay. She's still absolute win. I'm curious what this was about. I might figure out as I go. You know, I'm normally not an unboxing video kind of guy, but here it's fun, hilarious, and I always... I'm glad you have fun here, man. I really do. I'm happy for that. Some badasses have an ass to back it up. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Some of them absolutely do. That's wrong. You move on. You move on. Oh, no. Oh, we are catching up. Hey, Chris, welcome in, man. Hey, Spaded One, what's going on? Dude, a nice glory lady figure. And look, you wouldn't be dumb for thinking she's Wonder Woman, to be fair. She's basically Wonder Woman. Dude, that's fair. With a shield like that, getting hit in the teeth, I love stuff like that. Like there's a part in a comic book, and I to this day I feel like it was a Red Sonja comic, and I don't remember what it was. I wish I had this. I should have taken a picture, because it's like this thing that I remember forever now. She cut a guy's head off with her sword, and then it started falling, and she grabbed it by the hair as she spun around, and then she flings it by the hair and headbutts the other guy that was attacking her with the decapitated head of the other guy. And I was like, God. Like, it was one of the craziest things I ever saw in my entire life in comic books ever. And I just kind of wish that I just had that moment. Like, I really do. Now, she's brutally strong, so yeah, she would literally slap your jaw off if she actually wanted to. And yeah, an absolute backhand would. Let's see. Yeah, no, yeah, that's absolutely. I don't know what was going on. No, you're right. For some reason, it was very much like it did not give me the chat boxes for like, it was just had one chat thing up there and that was it. Oh, so you're type 2 as well? Then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. If we start putting on weight, it doesn't do us any favors. Like all our problems kind of heighten as we get heavy, and then the diabetes gets worse and worse and worse and can mess up your liver, cause fatty liver disorder and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not a good idea for me to put my weight back on at all. You were almost diabetic, then went on a diet, did kendo fencing for a year and some baseball, even some karate. No, absolutely. When they first told me I had it, I went back to boxing and I beat it. And then all my stuff came back and they were like, hey, you've done a fantastic job. There's literally no trace of it. And then at this point, I feel it in my bones. Something's not quite right. I can feel when I'm off and I know that I'm not maintaining the way that I was. Like I get tired easier and things like that. And I know that's part of that, is that's my blood sugar messing up on me. You got Tombstone, Scarlet Spider, and Jack-O-Lantern. Awesome. Dude, that Scarlet Spider is the one that I want. That's so good. Let's see. Not going to lie, your voice feels incredibly young for your looks. No offense. There we go again, man. There we go again, calling me old. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I grade early. Like real early. Like absolutely no joke. When I was in high school, I was already getting gray hairs. Like my girlfriend used to mess with me when I was in high school. She used to pick the gray hairs off my head and then ask me how my life could possibly be so stressful. And we're not going to go into all that, but yeah, I grew up in weird circumstances. We'll put it that way. Let's see. No, absolutely. I don't take offense, man. I'm not really stuck on the idea of age. I've never really been too worried about it. Like I'm 40 years old. I still collect toys and I still do the things I want to do because the age thing never really mattered to me the same way that it does to other people. I've never been under the belief that you have to be a certain age to be adult and that you have to be a certain age to how do I put this, to be like a kid. And I guess that's the best way to put it. Like people mature at different rates, and some people never necessarily do. Some people are never necessarily, like they never really grow up, is I guess what I'm trying to say. You've seen those people where they never actually get out and do what they're supposed to do or take care of themselves in any real way. And then some people are literally taking care of themselves when they're like 15. So like people just have different levels of maturity, and I guess I've just always kind of noticed that. So like even in my own aspect, when people were like, hey, why are you still like playing video games? Why are you doing this? What's up with the toys and whatnot? And I'm like, I'm not going to have you kind of crap on me when literally I'm further along than you are. Like I've moved out. I have my own place. I pay for my own car. I do my own gas. This is my insurance, my full-time job, my overtime. Like no. There's a difference. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between growing up and growing up. That's what I guess I'll say. And the things that you like don't really have anything to do with that. That's kind of where I'll put it. So she hangs out with She-Ra. That would be awesome. And actually, she will be hanging out with She-Ra because I plan to unbox She-Ra not way too long, probably in a day or so. If not, maybe even tomorrow, to be fair, depending on what I'm doing. Let's see. Power Princess versus the Princess of Power. Their battle will be legendary. Do I have arthritis? Yes. Yes. And it makes boxing different. So the way I pulled my weight down was I went back into boxing. I got the boxing bag out. I got the speed bag out. I dug out my old boxing gloves, which by the way I could not use. My old boxing gloves had literally sat in storage for so long that when I put them on and closed them, they cracked and broke. And I was like, this leather is old. And I put it back and went and got a new pair and everything like that. Bought wraps and just went to work. I have arthritis here here and in my left knee, and that's where it seems to affect me. And sometimes right back here. But if I keep it under control and I keep working out and I stay in decent shape and I keep the weight off and I do a lot of water. This soda, this is my once a week thing. Usually Friday nights, I will pick up one soda. It's usually a diet or a sugar-free, and this is my treat. Otherwise, it's always teas, always zero sugar or straight water, and that's it throughout the course of an entire week. I'm even at that point now where when I go to the restaurants, most of the time they'll be like, "Oh, and for you," and I'll just be like, "Water." And that's something. Luckily, I've kind of got along with my wife because since my wife has Crohn's, she drinks water almost everywhere we go. It's always water, water, water. So it was kind of like one of those things where I didn't feel awkward about ordering a water, and I shouldn't feel awkward, but you do. You get like taught. You go to the restaurant, you get a soda. You go to the restaurant, you get a soda. You go to the restaurant, you get a soda. That's like, it's almost programmed. So it was really hard to stop myself from doing it. I would get sodas. Sometimes I would go to the restaurant and just order a Diet Coke or whatever, even though I didn't even want a soda. But it like felt weird to get a water because like, I mean, I'm out to eat, right? So that shouldn't that mean? But it was just, it was like a mental thing that I had to kill, and it was tough to kill. So yeah. But I'm very much doing okay. Sometimes I notice it. There are days when I go to work, and especially during the winter, it picks up, and my arms don't like me. But what you gonna do, right? I mean, we're all gonna get old, and I've done so more gracefully than a lot of the people I grew up with. I did one of those 10-year challenges where I posted my picture from 10 years ago and from today, and I had a bunch of people that I grew up with being like, "What is going on?" Like, fine wine. And it's true. When I look at some of the people that I grew up with, some of the people I grew up with were younger than me and now look older than me. So I've maintained fairly well, for what it's worth. Let's see. And I know you're kidding, man. I know you're not. Let's see. Didn't get facial hair until my mid-late 20s. Dude, they sent me home from grade school and told me I had to shave. I started putting on that mustache early, and they were like, "You have to go home and shave. You have to go home and shave and come back." And so I did. I went home, and I didn't have my dad or anything at the time because he was like at work or whatever. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do, so I like went home, and I was like, okay. So I took the razor and I just dry shaved for my first time, and it was awful. And I was like, how do people do this every single morning? Like, I just could not believe it, man. Growing up and growing old. Let's see. I am so cheap, I refuse to pay restaurant prices for drinks. I've ordered water for decades. You know what? It's a good thing for you. I'm sure that not only do you drink water like you're supposed to, but you've probably saved yourself a good deal of money by making that decision, in all honesty. So, yeah. Look, man, be happy about that. If you ever shave the beard, put on a fedora, and then just prank call somebody with the "I am the one who knocks." I do have a fedora. I have an old fedora that belonged to my grandfather. It's one of the only ones that actually fits my tiny freak head. That's another thing too. My head is tiny. Like I don't. You've seen me in here with hats before. Those are far and few between in terms of when I can find them, because even at the store, like at a Target or whatnot, if I pick up one of the men's hats that are labeled small, they don't fit me. They're too big. Like, they flop over my ears and whatnot. They drive me crazy. It's very hard for me to find something that, like, fits my head. And so when I do, I'll wear the crap out of it. Well, I have an old fedora from my grandfather. And when he passed, my mom gave me his fedora, so I've still got it, and it's a really, really, really old hat. And I wear it every now and then, like if we go out somewhere or something like that, sometimes I'll put it on because I just feel like I want to wear it. And I love that hat, but that's a real good fedora. It's very rare that I shave this part. Right now, this is because we're having a problem. I got to have the plumbers come out and like do the snake or whatnot. We got like roots that grow into the lines. So about once a year, we have to have the company come out and like snake the lines and whatnot. And because I have to do that, it like I don't want to shave right now because they haven't got out here. They'll be out here in a couple days or whatever. So like when I take my shower, I take it as fast as I can. I get in, I get done, I get out because I'm not trying to flood my garage or whatever right now. So yeah, that's the reason I'm like, and even today, like they weren't here yet today and they were supposed to be here today. And now they're probably not showing up till Monday. And I was like, I have to shave this. I was like, this is starting to bother me. So I just got in there and just dealt with it and shaved it and still tried to do it as fast as I could. So it's not perfect. Not that anybody really can tell on this camera, but yeah, that's the reason all this is here. But even when I get rid of all this, which I try to do every 2 days, I keep this for the most part. I've never really been comfortable like with friggin' naked chin. Even though I've had a couple jobs where I had to shave, it was like required of me, and I did not like doing it. Let's see. No, I seen it, but as we're going down the list, I'm trying to catch up so we can go on to what we're supposed to be doing today. We should chat offline. I have type 2 diabetes and arthritis. Okay, the fatigue is real. I understand that too. You were a boxer, lost 90 pounds in the past 3 years. That's fantastic, man. No, I'd be into talking offline, dude. Really, I would. I think that'd be fantastic. You can get a hold of me like on Instagram and whatnot. Like send me a direct message or whatever. Maybe we'll set something up. Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all, man. People I know that are younger than I am look older than I am. This is for calling me old. Okay. He says you don't look old. Sure, bigger in size than the others, but not old. Well, look at that, man. See, you're not old. Are we friends on Facebook already as well? Then that's true too. You could send me a messenger, and Messenger we could also do something like that, man. We'd be fine. No, I don't see any reason we couldn't like hang out and get some talking and whatnot offline. Actually connect a little better and whatnot. So tonight, we are going. I already got one thing set up. I want to talk about this, not this monkey. We're not talking about Kong. My dad wants to see that movie. I'm actually going to that movie tomorrow. But today, Mondo dropped something. This. Masters of the Universe, Where's Teela? Now, when I saw that, I was like, oh no. So I clicked it. And then it took me here. And then it takes me here. And it's coming soon. Like, real soon. Like, it's time. It's time for my first Mondo. This will be the first time ever that I will buy a Mondo. Look, guys, I've put this off forever. I saw the He-Man, and I said, ooh, I want that, but $250. It's not the kind of scale I collect. Walk away, Bill. Walk away. Then they were like Skeletor, and I was like, walk away, Bill. That one was really hard to walk away from. The one that was almost impossible was She-Ra. She-Ra showed up, and they were like, here's She-Ra, and I'm like, oh man, walk away, Bill. Walk away. And then she showed up at a convention being sold for like $260. And I had to walk away. I had the money in hand, but I was like, Bill, you've got $300 for the entirety of the convention. You either get one thing or you go get stuff. And I walked away from the She-Ra and I got stuff. I cannot walk away from Teela. I walked away from She-Ra. Teela's a different monster for me. That is my character. That is who I like in Masters of the Universe the most. First, I started reading the mini comics. In case anybody doesn't know, I have a history with Masters of the Universe. I got into it as an adult. I always had a history with barbarian stuff. Never jumped into Masters of the Universe. All of a sudden, Revelation came. I watched Revelation. First, I bought 2 toys. Then I watched Revelation. Then I went and I was like, this is interesting. I'd be interested to see where it started. So I bought that giant compendium of every mini comic that ever existed and read the whole thing. Then I bought every DC comic book that ever existed and read all of those. Then I read a couple of these crossover books. Then I went from that to watching the original series, and I was all in. And it was during reading the comic books that Teela took shape for me. Like, it just happened. Over the time of reading the comic books, for some reason, she spoke to me like no other character. And I'm not 100% sure why. It could be a mix of many different things. It could be that she's the warrior woman. I like that. That's what got me into these properties to begin with, was growing up watching Xena with my stepmother, which then cascaded into many other things down the line. It could be the red-haired Red Sonja knock that I get when I look at her. It could be that this is literally the kind of character that I make when I play in like MMOs. I will make usually a tribute to Red Sonja. I will make a red-haired battle lady, and usually she turns out an awful lot like Teela. And as I watched the show and I did all this stuff, she spoke to me like no other character. She's the one I like the most. And then this happens. And this is, I'm dropping $500+ on my car Tuesday. Because I gotta get tires. I gotta get tires, an alignment, rotation. And they do this. And I'm seeing a lot of people say that this will go live Tuesday. I don't know how this works. If this is one that takes the money that day, okay. You get what I'm saying? Or is this one of the ones where you click it, it takes like a deposit, and then it charges you when it actually shows up? I don't know which kind of thing this is. I will tell you this, though. This is probably going on my card. And yes, Seth, Tuesday. Let me guess. Tuesday? Oh, I love John Harriman. He's such a good captain. That's a Tuesday captain. This I will not skip on. I cannot. Oh, that's cool. Payment plans through the shop and everything. Yeah, why is it always Tuesday? Yeah, whatever I gotta do, I will figure it out. This is one I can't skip. This will be my first Mondo. And there's always the possibility. Mo Tuesday! Yeah, absolutely. This may be the only Mondo I ever buy. I don't know. But I can't pass this one. I cannot pass on this one. And for anybody that doesn't know why I'm so excited about this, first off, this picture right there should tell you something. Look at that detail. This is phenomenal. It is unreal. Look, I'm just going to point out a couple of things real quick. The snake, all that little intricate detail, the weave and everything that we got going down, the snake skin and everything. Look at the hair right here. That's real soft goods. That's like horse hair that goes around here. It's probably not actually horse hair, but you get the idea. The hair that's tucked up and comes up around and everything. These little imperfections across the skin that makes her look like a real person. That face is almost absolutely animation perfect, brought into 3D. And then look at this level of detail right here, where this cuff, the hook around her neck, the collar, look where it comes down right here, crosses down and goes into her to her breastplate, right? Yes, we're looking at this area, guys. Calm down. It's okay. Look right here. That's raised off her skin, which means that this part of the plastic and this part of the plastic are two different things sculpted into one another. That is an intricate, masterful, amazing level of detail. It's unprecedented. Now, I realize that you're going to pay $250 for this. So it better be exactly what I just said, right? It better be impressive, but it is so good. Dude, yes. Mondo, from what I understand, is an absolute powerhouse in the 1/6 scale figures. Like, and from what I've seen, that's true. I passed on Battle Cat. I passed on He-Man. I passed on She-Ra. I passed on Skeletor. I can't pass on her. This will be the first time I ever buy into a Mondo, and it will probably put everything else on hold. Like, everything. Like, every other possible thing that I will be buying, I will halt the rest of my collecting, because my budget works a lot like this. I put $100 on a card that's my toy card. I do that every paycheck. When I spend money off that card, if I buy a $30 figure and I don't buy anything else that week, the $70 rolls over, and then I get $170 on my next week. My next paycheck week that I can buy toys. And that's how I build it up over time. $250? I cannot see myself skipping this. There's no way. Let's go further. Here's another tab right here. Just look at this. Look at this. This isn't the final product, by the way. I know some people like to say that it was already on display, and this is more than likely. I can already tell you that there have been mild changes to this already. I don't know to the extent of what changes we will see, but this was not a finished product. This was very close to finished. It was pretty much 100%. But you could tell by that red picture that we just looked at, this picture alone, looking at the side right here, this is already better. This is a better material. It's flattened out. It's more white. Like, you could tell that there's small, intricate differences between this face sculpt and this already. Like, you could see it. It's minor, but they went in and they did slight touch-ups before the release. And this is something I am looking forward to like crazy. It is going to be so good. Absolutely, I will not pass on this one. This is it. This will be my dive into Mondo. It basically has to be. I'm not skipping on this one. I think it may have flown off the radar, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I think, yeah, Zeo. Like, I was thinking the same thing as Jake, but I'm not 100% sure if I hit that right or not when I saw that you said it. I have almost all of the Mondu Motu stuff, and I've never been disappointed. And you know what? I'm also going to give it to this. Look, Mondo also, when they did screw up, like when the He-Man broke, the He-Man that they released, like a couple guys were getting them out of the packaging and the middle section broke, they sent out completely new bodies to all those people. When the She-Ras were shipped and they had that chip off the front of the nose that was so minor, it was so minor. There were big name reviewers, big guys on YouTube. We're talking guys with 50,000 followers that reviewed that She-Ra from head to toe, that had it on camera, that spent like 4 or 5 hours with her, that turned her around, checked her out, showed her sword, did the face, everything, and never once noticed, because it was so minor, that the little tip of the nose had been cut off, so it was flat, and it didn't actually curve out. It was flat. It was just a little thing was missing. They sent out new heads to every single person whom had that problem for nothing. They were like, oh shit, we got to fix that. There, you paid $250 for a figure? Here. That we're not going to have that on our company. Here, it's fixed. That has my attention. That means that there's almost zero back down here, because when I do buy into it, if there is a problem, Mondo has already proven beyond the shadow of a doubt they will fix it. That is unreal. That is unreal. No, absolutely. So you want Evelyn as well. When I see her, I'll make a decision. But this one, I can't pass Tila. I'm going to sign up for that. Notify me when available. This is one I got to do. If and like I said, I'll put every single collection item on hold to do Tila. The 1/6 scaled, she's going to be my desktop figure. She's going to go right here in full view, right here in the front at the desk all the time. Star figure, literal star of the collection. I cannot pass on her. She's too important. Let's see. They sent me second She-Ra head in addition to the perfectly good one. See, that's what I mean. That is unreal. Yeah, great customer service. That's beyond, on a personal level, that's beyond great. Because I have, in toys, I have never seen a toy manufacturer care like that. And yes, these are big time toys. We're talking $250. That's not a joke. That's a lot of money. That's a big toy. That's a huge spend. But still action figure toys. And I've never seen a toy company go out of its way like that. I've never seen it. It blew my mind. It really did. So, this is big for me. That being said, let's talk about what I did pick up today. Because today, I did pick something up. And it's awesome. And we should look at it. We should definitely look at it. I got Fire and Ice Tigra. Frank Frazetta, Fire and Ice Tigra today. Of course, she went up for pre-order today. And she's what I decided to use it on this time. Now, keep this in mind. She's labeled here at $89.99. That is not her price. It is here. I don't know why. Big Bad tends to charge about $10 more. And maybe it's something to cover their shipping. The companies like to claim, oh yeah, we keep our shipping low. Trust me. You are paying for that shipping. In one way or another, somehow, some way, you are paying for that shipping. Because if you get this directly from Frazetta Girls, which is where I got mine, Frazetta Girls charges $70 plus $10. So it's $10 for the shipping and handling. It's $70 for the figure, so it's still $80. Here it's $89, and they have a flat rate shipping of like $4. Here's the thing. I got Dark Wolf from Big Bad. No problems. I've never had Big Bad ship me something that was messed up. Never had them ship me something broken. Never had them give me something that I had a problem with. Always shipped very carefully. Never had an issue. I don't know how Frazetta Girls will send their stuff out. I imagine it's fine. I'm not saying one way or another. I've just never bought from them before. This will be my first time that I ever bought from them. And then if this works out in the future, they definitely have some stuff on Frazetta Girls that I want, because they have like collector's cups and things like that I see all the time that I'm like, oh, that would be cool. And so then I'll give them a try when that comes down to it. But this figure right here, this is Tigra from Fire and Ice, and this is the second character in the wave alongside Dark Wolf. Now, Dark Wolf I already picked up as well. This is Dark Wolf, and he also... he is more expensive, which that's a little confusing too, because they were the same price on Frazetta Girls. He was more expensive here at $95. So yeah, Big Bad cost more to get him, and I already have him and he's awesome. Like, he's way, 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 way awesome. Darkwolf is solid, and the next figure in this line of figures for Fire and Ice is Tigra. And Tigra comes with the Panther, which that is cool. The only thing, though, the Panther is a slug. For anybody that doesn't know, because we're not all 1,000% versed. Somebody has to tell you what something is before you know what something is. A slug basically means there's no articulation, so it's like a solid toy. That's basically what that means. And that's what that is. It does not move. It has two heads, so you can have the more relaxed head, or the one that looks like it's ready to, the one that looks like it's stalking, like it's ready to pounce, it's mad. And you could pick which one of these two heads you want. So there may be mild articulation for the head. Maybe it turns a little bit here and there. Maybe it looks up and down, whatever. But yeah, the heads are interchangeable, and that's it. Otherwise, it does not move. I found this to be a slight disappointment, but manageable. It also means that they were able to maintain their price point. She doesn't come with as much as Darkwolf did, and she herself is not as big as Darkwolf. So I think they made up the difference in terms of plastic for her, and the things that you would get gave you the slug. That added the Panther into the line without having to buy the Panther as a solid second extra figure in general. And now we've kind of maintained the price point in these new figures. And that's fine with me, in all honesty. She does come with her suit, so that's actually cool. She comes with the drape, as well as she comes with the clothing drapes, as well as she comes with her actual normal costume that we're used to seeing in Fire and Ice. And for those that haven't seen Fire and Ice, for those that probably have no idea what I'm talking about at all, like they may not know at all what I'm talking about, that's fair. You could watch Fire and Ice for free on YouTube right now. Like, you could just do that. You could just it's good. It's like an old 80s animation, hand-drawn, very cool, barbarian fantasy. And it's the best way I could explain it is, if you liked things like heavy metal, this is right up your alley. It will entertain you. It will catch your attention. It's high barbarian fantasy at its absolute best. Characters and designs Frank Frazetta inspired. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you like this kind of stuff, you can literally watch it for free on YouTube right now. I have it on my playlist for like watch laters, and every now and then I'll just go on and watch it because it's free. I should own it by now. If I'm being perfectly honest, I really should have bought this like I own the Conan the Barbarian movies and whatnot, and this should really be on the shelf with them. But I haven't bought it. But I should. I mean, that's the way it is. You know what I'm talking? So I will buy it. Eventually, I need to go out and get a Blu-ray of it. But for right now, it really is just on. It's really on YouTube right now for free. It's uploaded on multiple accounts. They never delete it, so you can just watch it tomorrow or whatever if you really wanted to. That's why we have the Hasbro Dritz Legend Pack with the Black Panther. Oh, I'm going to have to look up whatever that is now that you just said that. Because I would have liked, if there is a downfall, I would have liked an articulated Panther. But I'm not crying that we didn't get one either. This, I feel like it's going to work. I feel like this is going to be nice. I'm going to be honest here, too. I was a little put off when I first saw these figures, and I noticed that they would not have the knees that I like the double joint knees and the double joint elbows. But I don't think it's going to matter. Darkwolf seemed to have no problem moving. That did not seem to affect him. And if I'm being honest, I guess here's the way I'll explain it. Like, this is fine, but it doesn't really look like a knee. You get what I'm saying? Like, when I pull this back, I could tell what it's supposed to be, but because it's like a joint, it never looks like a perfect knee, where this looks like a fully sculpted perfect knee. You know what I mean? Like, that looks like a knee. I know I'm getting hung up on something that's really stupid, but every small detail matters when you're looking at something like this. You know what I mean? So the fact that they kept it single joint, but it does not inhibit the movement, it feels very nice. I had no problem getting Darkwolf into whatever kind of pose I wanted him to go into. Much better than Barbarian Batman. Much, much better than Barbarian Batman. That guy moves like a joke. He's just a heavy chunk of fall-over plastic. Darkwolf was not. Darkwolf was absolutely fantastic. So if they can maintain and add that little detail right there in the knee, and I don't feel like I've missed anything, and it looks good, I'm fine with that. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Good Friday to you, too. I bought Darkwolf direct from Rosetta Girls. My shipping took forever. I will order this one for Big Bad Toy Store. It's $10. Yep, on Frazetta. But you pay now. I buy. Yeah, no, that's a true statement as well too. If you buy on Frazetta Girls, they charge you right then and there. If you buy on Big Bad, you will pay when she gets here. So it gives you a little time. Some people are not good at this, and you play this waiting game and you screw yourself. Some people need to pay the money right now because if it's in their account, they'll feel like they have the money and they'll spend it. Some people are bad at this. But if you're good about this, you could set her up right now from Big Bad and then wait. And when she gets here, you will be charged for her. And some people can do that and some people can't. If you can do that, hey, that's fine, right? It's an articulated Black Panther in Legends scale. Is Tigra 7-inch? It may work because it's big. I believe that she is 7-inch. In terms of how she scales off of other characters, I'm going to be honest. See, because she counts as a 112 scale, so technically she's a 6-inch, but she's 6 inches tall relatively. She's 5'9", but she's a smaller female character as opposed to Darkwolf, who stood taller and didn't look bad standing next to 7-inch figures like from the Motu line. So I guess he's smaller than them, but not every tall giant barbarian man needs to be 7 foot tall, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It did not bother me that he was a smaller barbarian than the other barbarians I had on my shelf in the 7-inch scale. He fits more to the line of 6-inch things like Marvel Legends. But at the same time, like, she's tall for a Marvel Legends. Like, standing her next to some other characters, she seems to tower over them and then seems to fit right on the shelf with, like, all the Motu stuff. She's just a little shorter. So I think it works out. I don't think it bothers you. They don't look off when you put them next to each other. So this Panther that you're talking about would probably still look fine right beside her. It would be bigger than this Panther, but still not so bad that it would be egregious or like make you be like, oh, what's up with the gigantic Panther? That's $10 shipping. Yeah, so, but really, I think still you're paying more for Big Bad. I'm not defending one over the other, like, because yeah, it's 70, and then plus 10, and that was only 80 in terms of Tigra on Frazetta, but then this seems like you're gonna pay about $14 more over here. But in all honesty, like you said, there are good and bad points to all of this. For one, Big Bad has never shipped anything to me wrong, so I would feel safe with Big Bad. Big Bad will not charge you right now. They'll charge you later when she gets here. That gives you time to put her on pre-order, claim your spot right now, and if you don't have the money, get the money. You could put $20 back each paycheck and you will easily make it by July. You will be fine. So there are benefits one way or the other. But like I said, you also can't hurt yourself if you go to Frazetta and you pay the money right now and they take it, and then you don't have to worry about not having it when she comes in July if something came up or you messed something up. But then again, maybe you need that money and maybe you need a reason to be able to cancel her before. There's good and bad parts to all of it. Too busy watching comics toss for obvious reasons. Yes, absolutely. Let's see, Dark Wolf is close to, but a bit shorter than my Mythic Legends. No, that's good. That's about right. I don't have a Mythic Legends, but yeah, that's about what I was picturing when I was messing with him myself. On Dork Lair? No, that's good then actually. Yeah. I don't think that this would be a bad thing. I think she is unreal. Like, she looks like she has done fantastically. I'm very curious though, because this will be a major test for this line of figures. And the reason I say that is because if you want to judge the absolute quality of a figure line, look at their females. And the reason I say this is because if a line is going to cheap out, it's going to be on the girls. I don't know why. Guys almost always have better articulation. They have better stability. They often have better sculpting, better attention to detail. They come with better weapons, better items. Maybe it's the fact that guys sell. Sometimes like female characters will sit on the shelves forever, even if they're ones that we all say we want. Even if they're all the ones that we say we want, we'll be like, oh man, we need this girl. And then that girl will come out and like the people that want her will buy her, and then she'll peg warm forever. Remember, they could not get Storm off the shelves. And I'm not talking about the recent Storm. I'm talking about the good one on the retro card back, the classic awesome Storm. They could not get her off the shelves. She was everywhere. Like literally everywhere. You could not get rid of her. They couldn't get rid of her. And then other characters too. I remember they had to clearance out the Black Widow, which is one of the best that we have ever seen from Marvel Legends. It is easily one of the best female bucks that we have ever seen from Marvel Legends ever. Literally ever. And somehow they couldn't get rid of her. They clearanced her, and they clearanced her hard. In my area, she sold for as little as $6. Like, wow. So female characters, they don't often sell. So maybe that's the reason toy lines will cheap out on their female characters and not worry about certain things. Like, look how long it took to get this little thing going on the, see this? See where she moves? That may seem like a little thing, but think about all the figures that are coming out right now from Marvel Legends, brand new bucks, like they release brand new bucks that are still the solid one piece. They're just one all the way down and the body won't move. Like, it blows my mind sometimes. And like 80% of the friggin' females that they release in Marvel Legends still have the single elbows. Like, come on. Like, they just refuse to update. There's so much reuse on the female bucks, and I think it's just a thing of the lines. The female characters often don't sell. In fact, I've heard Todd McFarlane say it before when he got asked something like, how come he's not making more girls for the line or something like that? And he says, I could sell 1 million Batmans. He's like, I could sell like 50 Wonder Woman. Like, even when she's highly demanded, she will sometimes come out and he doesn't know exactly where to put the amount. He'll put her out and he'll be like, I'm going to do this much. And then she'll sell out. And then nobody can get her. And then he'll do more, and she'll stick around forever, and they can't get rid of her. They can't get her off the store shelves. And he says that it's just very hard to gauge when and if you even can sell a female figure and how fast they'll sell and whether or not they stick around and clog the pegs up and everything. It's tough. It's tough because like serious collectors will buy all the girls. Casual collectors often won't. And a lot of the times kids simply will not, like at all. Like they just won't. She was in the produce aisle in the dairy section. She was with a chicken in the meat. They couldn't get rid of her. They could not get rid of her. They could not get her off the shelf. But yeah, she's up right now. She's up for pre-order. Anybody that's interested, anybody that wants to add an absolute legend to your shelf, she is fantastic. She looks like she's going to be very, very, very well done. I'm seeing a lot of different poses here that give me hope for the way that she moves and everything like that. I think the lighting and everything, the paint job must be very good because the lighting dynamic seems to hit her very well. I'm impressed. I have high hopes. And like I said, this is very much like straight out of heavy metal. This is an absolute wonder that we're even getting something like this. It blows my mind. And I'm being serious here. It really does. It blows my mind that we are living in the collecting era that we are living in. There is something for everyone right now. I mean, there really is. The idea that I see, because I see it all the time. I see people all the time that are on YouTube that are like collectors that are like, oh man, I hate this thing. Oh, we're being priced out. Nothing is ever this. They never give us what we want. Blah blah blah. I hate this. I hate that. I can't stand this. And I'm just blown away. Where they're like, there's too much stuff, or there's not enough stuff, or they're not making the character I want, or blah blah blah. And I'm like, how can you look at the figures and the options that we have right now and not find joy? Like, how? I'm the absolute definition of a niche like collector. I bought Dark Wolf, Frank Frazetta. Like really? Like even though I have a lot of people now that I can talk to on the regular that would say, oh man, yeah, I got mine as well and blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like everybody just ran out and grabbed him. Let's be completely honest here. 80% of the people, maybe 90% of the people that I have spoken to in real life have never seen or even heard of Fire and Ice. And the figures are here, you can get them. The figures are here, you can get them. X-Men are back. Motu is crazy popular in 3 different lines. If you want to get super technical, because there's now Turtles of Grayskull, the cartoon collection, Origins, which I actually would put together, but some people will not. They'll argue with me about that. And then Masterverse. And if that kind of stuff doesn't tickle your fancy, there are multiple DC lines out there right now. If that's not your thing, there's a ridiculous amount of Marvel. There's an unbridled amount of Star Wars. Their Godzilla toys are back on the market. Like if you like anything, there's something out there for you right now. There just is. I don't understand how people can be like, oh, it's all a bunch of garbage. I don't see it. I don't. Serious collectors will buy all the girls. Dang it, Brain, why do you get the worst? Like, we're going to look at this. Iron Studios does some good work. I will admit, from time to time, Iron Studios has produced a couple of things where I'm like, oh, what is wrong with the face? But when they do it right, they do it right. Okay? That's what I'm saying. We're going to look at the dailies, because we are. We're going to look at that. They have not released Battle Armor Skeletor yet. Man, I want that. I already put basically everything from Motu. I did it. I was like, damn it. They got me. Basically, I cherry picked the line. mildly. There was like 2, 3 guys I did not pick up. Everybody else that I clicked on, I was like, yes, 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 yes. So I have till July, basically, to come up with $400. I will be fine. That's actually not a problem. It's not demanding that much, especially with the way that I run my budget. $100 back, yada, yada, every paycheck, I will be fine. That won't even touch me. It really won't. But hitting the button almost like made me have a panic attack because I was like, $430. Oh, my God. But when I really put it through on my head, when I really stopped and thought about it, we're just entering April. I have till July. I put $100 back per paycheck. It's not even going to touch me. But it feels scary when you do that. All my Marvel Legends are females. I have a problem. Did we see Motu yet with the Havoc Throne? Oh, you better believe I bought the Havoc Throne. That was the first thing I went to on Big Bad. And you know what? I don't care. We can look. If you want to look at Motu, we will look at Motu. I have no problem looking at some Motu. I did do an actual video where I just went through all the Motu stuff. But yeah, we will absolutely look at Motu if you want to look. I have to look at that. Nightmare Before Christmas stuff? Absolutely. I want to see that stuff right now. Otherwise, I think, okay, I'm gonna say we're fine for the rest of it for right now, because this gives us enough to pick through for a minute. So first off, Ultimates. Oh, okay, so it's Super 7 stuff. Okay, to buy set of 3 figures, is that all? That's that the entire line so far? So the entire line will cost you like $164. That's not tragic. I know it sounds terrible to some people, but when most of these figures, especially like if you go through Big Bad and you pay the $4 shipping and their figures cost about $55 and you're looking at $60 a figure. At $60 a figure, you're actually saving money. If you're going to buy all of them anyway, probably just bite the bullet and do this. I know that can be tough, but like just save your money up and buy it this way because this is the way to go. The real question is, are these solid figures? I mean, they look good. 0. We got multiple heads. I mean, Jack looks good. There's no reason for that. I guess the only thing I would be worried about is like, does he actually stand? Does he have any actual balance, or does he fall over and crap like that? Because that would be a problem. But like, this is pretty solid. It comes with the cat. I like that. I think that's cool. This looks really good. And you know, leave it to Super 7. They usually don't, you know, you got to hand it to them when Super 7 does right. I've had my complaints with Super 7, okay? And that's not going to change. I'm always going to have my complaints with Super 7. There is stuff that I do not like about their business practice in terms of like how sometimes they'll sell like a little kid figure that's only like this big, and the other figures in the line are about that big, and somehow they'll do this guy with like 2 different hands and 4 heads and all these different accessories and yada yada, and he's $60, and then this kid with 1 sword and like a water effect is $60. No, that's BS. But I mean, when they do right, they do right. And for the most part, everything they release, you could argue, is solid. Like, you could. And I would not argue with you too heavily about that opinion, in all honesty. I would back off for the most part about it, because when they do right, and they do right most of the time, they really do right. Oh boy. Just watched a video of a YouTuber who went to Japan and spent over $4,000 on Pokemon merch. One Piece merch. And it was a white teddy bear. Whoa! Well, I hope their life is better for it. I mean, look, if he's got the money, you know. What it actually is. Let's see. So you asked if it was, do you mean Monokuma? Which that wouldn't be Pokemon. There is a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's in book form. Well, Monokuma That's not... That's Danganronpa, isn't it? That's not Pokemon. I still don't know why it would be a $4,000 thing, but regardless. But anyways, these look good. I mean, they're standing here, but that could be an effect. And this guy could very much be on a stand that they're then photographing out. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. This is cool. It is really cool. If you don't have anything like this already on your shelf, maybe this is your chance. And I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I gotta say, I do. For what it's worth, I love them. This is not something I'm going to be buying. We've already talked about it. You know where my money's going right now. So this I'm going to be skipping. But it is very cool. Now, these Turtles of Grayskull? No, this is just Masters of the Universe in general. Now, there's a couple of things in here, for one. First off, Mutated Ram Man is cool. I do not have him on pre-order. I'm crossing my fingers because, like I said, I cherry-picked the line a little bit. There were some things that I passed on for the most part. Not heavy passes, just like for right now. I'm passing, and I will try to come back and get what I can. You know what I mean? Like, when I see the opportunity. But I had to get Raphael, so I got Ramraff. I got Merman, because this Origins Merman looks amazing. This I got, the Prince Adam and Cringer, that is magnificent. Like, that's enough to bring tears to your eyes. It's so good. It feels like pure emotion, how wonderful this is. I mean, really. No, I know you didn't say that it was a Pokemon, but he was saying that it was Pokemon merch, and then you said it was Monokuma, and then he said, yes, it's Monokuma, and Monokuma's not Pokemon. So I didn't actually put words into your mouth. You just put words into your mouth, sir. You're the one word-mouthing over here, not me. I don't be word-mouthing tonight. I have word-mouthed before, but today, you're word-mouthing, son. I love Cringer. I don't care. He's my Scooby-Doo, okay? He's my Scooby-Doo. I love him. This is pure joy. Like, look at that. I don't care. That sold it for me. That sold it for me. Like, that is everything about this I love. Like, I love this. I love his big dumb face. I love his big dumb face. I love how happy everything looks here. This is just like dumb face Skeletor for me. This is nothing but joy for me. I love that. That is an absolute straight out of the original cartoon, straight up loving moment. I love this right here, where he's got the little articulated jaw and he's got the fear look, and he knows he's about to get zapped by that sword. He knows he's about to be Battle Cat, which made me say, when I saw this, it made me say, are we going to get a cartoon line Battle Cat? Because I would love that. Like, this right here, where he knows it's coming, man. He knows he's going to change, and then he knows that means that zap is coming his way. I love that we get the two heads. I love that he looks every bit the cartoon character. Everything about this is solid joy for me. Like, everything about it is joy. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that one to come my way, because I just love it. I can't not love it. It's so good. It's so great. I don't care. I'm wrapped up in joy about it. I really am. Everything about it is fantastic. I love it so much. I'm a little kid as far as I'm concerned at how much I love this. And I usually don't go in for stuff like that. I'm not the kind of person that's like, it's so cute or whatever, but like something about this just is everything that I ever wanted that I never knew I wanted. These guys are going as prized possessions on the shelf. This is cool. The collector vehicle coming onto the market is sick. Like, That's another one. I put it on pre-order. I was like, I have to have the collector. There's not a lot of vehicles that I have bought for this. In terms of Motu, I've avoided a lot of vehicles because I did not grow up with Motu. I'm not attached to the vehicles necessarily. I like the barbarian fantasy of it, the monsters, the myths, the legends, the sorcerers, the sorceresses, the barbarians, and things of that nature. I love all that. A lot of stuff though I can pass on. Big robot horse, sure. Giant battle cat, of course. Battle panther, why not? Weird spider spinny twirly thing. I didn't grow up with it. It doesn't blow my mind. I just don't care. But this, I was like, I want that. I want the collector because one, it's the main vehicle of Skeletor that we saw all the time. And two, it very much reminds me of a Brainiac thing. And I want it. That's a solid Evil-Lyn that's coming our way. I'll be interested to compare her to the Teela that came out. But one thing, why did we go this route? Am I imagining this? I don't remember this. So I know the toy came out and she had this skin tone, this yellowish jaundice color. But I thought for sure, unless I am fooling myself, I thought for sure that the cartoon had already changed her to normal skin tone, not jaundice sorceress lady like Simpson. In fact, I'm 1,000% positive. I don't feel like I'm remembering that wrong. This confuses me, why they decided to do that. I don't get it. It's fine. I bought it. But I would have preferred that it looked actually like the cartoon, 100%. But I'll be interested to compare this to the cartoon Teela, because Teela and Evil-Lyn in the toy line are nothing but repainted body bucks. They're almost one for one, just straight re-releases and repaints. They're as lazy can be. Here's a different head. There. We painted her purple. And that's fine. We expect that from a lot of these. Motu is a reuse thing. It's a very normal thing. Reuses in the entire line. It's literally a understood property, in effect, a thing in the line. But the cartoon collection, I'm expecting a little more. I expect them to be different, because you're now telling me that these are based on these are based on the Filmation properties. This is from the cartoon. So if that's what this is supposed to be, one, she shouldn't look like a Simpsons character. Two, she should not be a reused total buck of Teela. There should be discernible differences, and I'll be interested to see how they work. So has the wife ever bought... we are currently focusing on one single line of statues to get the entire Sailor Scouts in front of the wand that she has. So yeah, we have bought a couple things from here, actually. She's normal skin in some scenes, full-on Simpsons character in others, so it's both right and wrong. Maybe I'm just remembering it different. Maybe it has something to do with when she uses her powers or something. Well, all toy lines are retool heavy. All toy lines are. But at the same time, it depends on what you're selling. And if you're selling these as inspired straight from the cartoon, this is supposed to be from the cartoon, that's what it should be. In fact, I called them out. When they released her, and it was just a repaint of the first of... It was just a... They released Teela, then they repainted her with a different head, called her Evelyn, which I expected because that's the way she was done as a toy in the original, and we were remaking the original toys. That she got away with, and she was yellow. That's fine. The original toy was yellow. All of that was let go. I said, okay, I understand this. Then they re-released her, and they claimed that she was from the 2002 series. No, she wasn't. She was just a complete repaint of the exact same figure that was yellow and is now not yellow, and they were like, it's 2002 series. No, it isn't. The costume should have changed. The costumes do not look the same in those two series. Now, when they did it with He-Man, when they were like 2002 He-Man, that looks different. He looks different. He looks different, and I see him, and I go, yeah, I could see that. That's the 2002 He-Man. That is not the same He-Man. When they did Skeletor, Skeletor looked different. Once again, a toy line seen a chance to make the males and was like, hey, let's put a little extra tooling in. Let's do this. Let's change the belt. Let's do that. Let's different sword, different this, da-da-da-da, new face, yada-yada, everything. Okay, now he kind of looks like he's retro, so he looks like he came out in the original line, but you could tell this is the 2002 Skeletor, the 2002 He-Man. Perfect. It looks great. Put him on the shelves. I bought him. I said, look at that. Oh, da-da-da-da. This is absolutely fantastic. She was just a repaint. I called them out for that. I said, this is not what we were promised. If you're going to go out of your way, for certain things and not for other things, you can't do it. So this is exactly, it's funny. I was actually talking about this. Wouldn't be surprised if they went main character privileges. So here's the argument I have here. She's a main character. In terms of the mainline characters, there is nobody more important in the bad guy side than Skeletor, Evelyn. Nobody. The three main characters, I would say the trifecta, the trinity of evil, is in the original Masters of the Universe, the cartoon, which then, of course, leads into the toys and counts as main characters. It's Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman. Done. They're the absolute. They show up the most. You could argue you could replace Beastman for Trapjaw, and I would not argue with you. In fact, maybe Trapjaw makes more sense. But I remember a lot more scenes with Beastman, even if I like Trapjaw more. So up for debate. On the good guy side, it's very easy. There's absolutely no way around it. It is He-Man. It is Teela. It is Man-at-Arms. You could argue for Orko or Cringer or Battle Cat. But I would tell you that Cringer, Battle Cat, and Orko all sit in spot 4, all equally as important, but not part of the mainline trifecta. So, yeah, but regardless. But yeah, bad male-female contrast is sometimes I see constantly in toy lines as a Toku fan. Guys get regular release toys, females get... No, and 100%. I will not argue that with you because you're making the exact same point that I made earlier when I said oftentimes the girls do not get attention in the lines because chances are they won't sell, so they don't get the extra attention, which is why I said if you want to see the overall quality of a line, if you want to know if that line is crazy good, you look to the female characters. If extra work and attention and detail went into keeping the female characters solid, that's a solid toy line because it means they are not cheaping out anywhere. They are giving you solid, undeniable product. So I'm crossing my fingers here for Tigra to be an absolute fantastic figure because if she is, that means the entirety of that line, everything they put out is going to be high quality, no jokes. And I would argue you can look to that kind of detail and that kind of superiority in things like Masterverse. Masterverse, every character I've opened feels like it has its own undeniable soul, including all the girl characters. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Ironically, the female stuff sells more than the guys. They just... No, because they can't sell more than the guys. They really can't. The longer you've been in toy collecting, the more you'll see it. The girls are often the peg warmers because, and by the way, stores receive their materials in case packs. So when you receive a case pack, right, and the case pack comes in and it has Squadron Supreme, she will be in. It'll be a case pack of 8 figures. 8 to 16 figures. That case pack will usually have 1 or 2 girls. That's it. And the rest of them are the characters they know they're going to sell. So maybe they'll have 1 of each character or 2 of each character and 1 of the character they don't think is going to sell as heavy. Like if you were doing a Justice League thing, you would include 2 or 3 Superman, 2 or 3 Batman, 2 of every other character, and then 1 of the girls. And that's it. And you would put that on the shelf. If the girls pile up, it means that every time they're getting a case pack, they're getting 1 girl, they add 1 girl to the shelf. Mary Jane. In the most recent line of things that I can name this from, Mary Jane is the one from that Spider-Man line they did. All the Spider-Mans sold off the shelves. Even the businessman doesn't exactly look like Daredevil, but is supposed to be Daredevil John Cox or whatever. Even they sold out here and there. Yeah, they're still on the shelves for what it's worth. But the absolute peg warmer that they cannot get off of the shelf is Mary Jane. And I promise you that the case packs, Mary Jane is the character included at the least quantity. And they can't get rid of her because nobody buys her. And that's very normal for a lot of toy lines. That's the reason they will be sold less, and they kind of become chases. For serious collectors like myself, we will race to the store or get our pre-orders in as fast as humanly possible on a female character, because chances are, once they go off the shelf, they're not coming back, and their value skyrockets, and it's a lot harder to get your hands on them in the secondary market or locate them at a convention or something, because that's just the way that this market works. They're often peg warmers, and if they're not peg warmers, it's because they didn't make a whole lot of them, and the people that got them, you're not going to see them again. You think a Motu Legos will sell well? Well, the reason I'm going to tell you no is because it doesn't seem to sell well. There already is something like that, Real Fan. So already there is a type of line for Motu for Legos. It's called Mega Constructs. And I bought the Castle Grayskull. I've already done videos of it here. I did like 4 videos on that thing because I loved it so much. There is also an Eternian Tower. There is a lot of little things, like vehicles and like character packs and things. There's a Grayskull, which I already talked about, and there's a Snake Mountain. I still want to buy the Snake Mountain. They're pretty expensive, but they're very impressive. However, I don't think they sell well. And the only proof I have of this is that it's been a long time. And I have not been able to buy the Snake Mountain yet. I have not been able to justify the price because it's expensive. And I have also not bought the Eternian Tower. And I could go get it right now. No question. It'll just be on Mattel Creations. They can't give it away. So it makes me feel like that line, though it is very, very cool, it doesn't seem to sell well. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere. Yeah. And I get that you'd know more about the Toku thing than you would about the Motu thing, but I'm just talking toy lines in general. And I have a lot of experience over a lot of different toy lines, and I can tell you without a doubt that is how case packs come to stores. That is how the pegs are usually stocked, and that is why the common peg warmers will often be female characters. Like I could still go to my Target and get Sakura. Naruto sold out forever ago, but Sakura's still just sitting on the shelf. She's right there. And I can do that with a lot of the female wrestlers, and I can do that, like I said, Mary Jane. I can go there right now. She'll be there. I'm not even concerned about it. She'll be there. Like, so, like, I just, yeah, oh, and the Storm, they could not get Storm off the shelves. They could not get her off the shelves. And one of the best figures ever released in the history of Marvel Legends for females was the Black Widow, the last Black Widow, and they couldn't give her away. Like, it's crazy, but they literally were like, they were clearancing her out for like $6. They had to get her off the shelf. And then people all of a sudden bought her in bulk, and now she's kind of skyrocketed in value. I did get Orko because it is a reissue, and I have a bit of a story with Orko. I wanted an Orko. I did. I wanted an Orko just because, like, my wife loves Orko. I get a kick out of Orko. We enjoy it. And she was like, oh, you need an Orko for the shelf. So I kept going into Target and I kept looking for Orko, and I could not get an Orko. It just never showed up. One day, I walk in and there it is. Orko on the shelf. It's there. I start walking. I can see it in the distance, man. And this one guy comes out of this aisle in front of me, turns the corner, goes into the aisle, takes it right off the shelf. Oh, Orko. He looks around, sees a Scareglow, picks it up, looks at the two of them, looks like he's debating it, decides to buy both of them, walks away. I walk up and I'm like, oh, damn it. No Orko for Bill. And at that point, Orko has been on Amazon for like $60, $70. He's been on eBay's and whatnot for like $60, $70, $80, $140. He's been on Macari's, looking like crap for something that you definitely wouldn't pay. He's been on Macari for like overpriced. Sometimes you get deals and whatnot. I'm not saying it's impossible, but for the most part, this guy like basically became a chase of the line. Like, he was impossible for me to get. And I was like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because I saw this happen with She-Ra. When I first got into the line, I wanted She-Ra. She was one of my absolutes. I could not get her. And her price skyrocketed. They were asking like $180 in some places for She-Ra. And I was like, no, she is an $18 figure. I will wait. Turns out I was right for doing so. Because she did get reissued twice. And from what I understand, the reissue did me a lot of favors because I got the better knees. I know that sounds about ridiculous, but there was a problem with the female knees at the start of the line, and they fixed it, and it's a big deal. And I got the better knees. So that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I also got Mikey Man. I bought Mikey Man. I love the fact that his wig is removable, and it's multiple wigs. So, like, that's a different wig as opposed to, like, other than that. Yeah, see, there's one with, like, the hair blowing here. But then, like, this is not the same. So this is where the hair is, like, laying down. So he must come with, like, two wigs and a little back peg thing for the bandana. And this guy's so ridiculous. Mikey Man is awesome. We're going to have fun with Mikey Man. He's going to be another one of those characters that's just... Sometimes I just love dumb stuff. I just love it. I just love the fact that sometimes there's dumb toys and there's no reason not to absolutely love them. This right here is the absolute. This thing is masterful. This is what I came to first. The second I heard that they were releasing Wave of Motu stuff, and I came in and I said, I better put some stuff on pre-order. I came in, went straight here, clicked this guy before anything else, pre-ordered this, and then went about my day and started figuring out the other things that I would cherry pick from the line. Because, like, this is unreal. Like, this is for a 7-inch scale Skeletor. That's a 7-inch figure sitting on the throne. Which means that this throne is large. Those are stairs that he can actually walk down. These are flaming pillars that go all the way up to the top of his bicep. Like, that's impressive. The staves, like, this is so good. Oh, this thing lights up. And you could change the color of the fire and whatnot. Like, everything about this guy is severely cool. He comes with the bone throne. His jaw is articulated. You could put the skull head on him without the cowl. Like, he comes with two different staves. He comes with the Skeletor cape look, or he comes with the traditional Skeletor look. And if you get in on this face is the stuff of nightmares, man. Like, this is one of the best Skeletor face sculpts they have ever done. I'm talking in any line ever in the history of Motu ever. Literally ever. It is so good. It is unreal. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just you. Yes, I'm right there with you, Liquid. I'm stupid for this. I'm stupid for this. The fact that I could change the flames, I can make them orange, I can make them green. I don't know how many colors it's going to allow me to do, but those are just the two that I've seen from the pictures. They the teeth are jagged, and like one of them's kind of popping out and kind of sideways and messed up, and his eyes, like there's these like weird red socket things inside the eyes. Like he's the mini comics Skeletor done in Masterverse. I think people are calling him like the I've seen a couple of people call him like Alcala Skeletor. I don't know what exactly that means, but like, it's cool. Like, this face sculpt is the stuff of nightmares, and it should be, right? And yes, it will be better than Skipped Legs Day Skeletor. It absolutely will be, sir. In fact, just because I'm curious in general, we are going to see... I'll see if I can find it for you real quick. Let me switch back to this tab. Oh no. Here, we'll look at that. Let me see. Let me go to my images here. Let me see if I can find it. Because I saw today this, somebody had done like a close-up. I think that's it. I think they're calling it the Alcala Skeletor head. And I'm not 100% sure what that means. I think I'm still too new to the line to understand all the artists or whatnot. But I think it has to I think it might have something to do with an artist or whatever. But I'm telling you, it's really cool. Like, I think I seen it on Instagram, actually. So if I could find it real quick on there, I will show it to everybody, because I saw a close-up that kind of blew me away. There, let me see if that... No, that doesn't find it? Okay, so... Do-do-do-do... Let me look at this. Let me see if this finds anything for us. A whole bunch of stuff. Way too much stuff. Probably the wrong way to try to look that up. I know that I seen it earlier today, and I was like, what is that? Because, I mean, it was like a really good close-up of all of it. And it was no joke. Like, it was just so unreal good. Let's see if this, maybe I'll find it this way. I'm trying. I don't want to necessarily just do this the whole night, though, in all honesty. But, like, I mean, it was so good. I could not ignore it. Like, I was mesmerized when I seen it. I was like, holy crap, what is that? I was like, that is literally the stuff of nightmares. I was like, it is so unbelievably good. I will do this real quick. Hold on. There. Let me go there, because I think this is the group where I seen it. Yeah, here it is. I found it. So this is what I am talking about. That is the head sculpt. Like, that is insane. Like, the articulated jaw, the jagged teeth, the screwed up area, like the green that falls along the sides, these red eyes inside the eye sockets and everything. That is unreal. Like I said, that is a straight up, that's so good. That's one of the best ones I've ever seen. Let's see. If Big Bad puts the big Star Trek TNG figures on clearance, are you picking them up? I don't know. I'm really fighting with myself about that, because I fought with myself about whether or not I would get into another scale of line for Star Trek, because I've collected Playmates for so long, and it's where I feel comfortable, and it's kind of like a nostalgia thing for me. And I have such a huge line that I can get. And like, it's all very accessible, and it's like $7-8 a piece, and there's nothing that I can't find. And I feel like I could actually finish sets, and then they come out with this, and it looks good, and it's cool, but like, it's another thing and another scale and another way, and it would really hard for me to ever feel like I was completing something or finishing something. And I guess that's fine. But I don't know. I guess here's what I'm saying. I have to have one in my hands to know if I feel like the value of it justifies buying into a whole new line. Like, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know if it does until I can hold one in my hands. And that's tough, because that's $60 just to get my hands on one. Now, like you said, if they go on clearance and they hit like a low $30 or something like that, maybe I could try one out, and maybe it opens up a whole new field of problems for me, because that's what it would be. Problems. They're like $60 a piece. Super 7 lines are hard to finish, man. I keep telling myself I want the Ultimate Ninja Turtles line. But then I look at the fact that like Donatello is $60, and Raphael is $60, and Michelangelo is $60, and Splinter is $60, and the Foot Soldier is $60, and Casey is $60, and April is $60, and 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. Before I know it, I'm $300 in on just the standard first wave turtle figures, and that's hard, man. That's really hard. And that's the issue that I come across with the Super 7 stuff, is that's what I would be paying into, and it scares me. I think it really does, because like at the start of this, I was talking about it's going to kill me to get Teela. That's a $250 drop, but she's going to be an absolute star attraction of the entire line, like my literal Grail character sitting right there, and she serves a bigger purpose than like having a large data, when I already have a data on the shelf, and I've never felt put off or detracted by that data from Playmates. He was the data I grew up with. He has a nearly perfect likeness. I've always enjoyed him. I like his scale to all the other figures. I wish their legs were better. I wish they could actually sit down. But like, I don't know. That's basically where I am with that. My mind is running in circles about it. But yeah. It's Green Terminator. I don't know. This is amazing to me. This looks like something literally like a Fright Fest. This is something out of Conan the Barbarian. This is Thulsa Doom, man. This is barbarian fantasy right here. It's ugly. It's in your face. It's maddening. It's the skin melted off of this creature. Its eyes are still in the socket. It's dark red. It's eerie. It's just, this is it, man. The teeth are jagged. They're not perfect. They're all messed up. Like, I love this. I love everything about this. And to think this is going to come with the Bone Throne, this is it for me, man. This is it. This is the absolute star. Like, I love everything about this. So, Turtles and Transformers and a couple of other things in general. Now, I'm not a Transformers fan. That is not a thing for me, and I do not plan to become a Transformers fan, and I will not be getting on board with any of these collaborations, but I will look at them, and that's literally the definition of window shopping. Like, here's Street Fighter collaboration with Transformers. So we're looking at, like, this is supposed to be Hot Rod and Chun-Li. So there's Chun-Li as a Transformer. What does she become? Oh, she becomes like a Chun-Li car thing. Okay. So this is Kin and Chun-Li. Sure. It's not that I don't understand why people like Transformers, but it is not my thing at all. Like, zero interest in this. However, they're doing G.I. Joe crossovers with more original, like, these are like very old, like this is as old style as these are the way that Joes looked when I was growing up. This seems incredibly familiar to me, which that's a cool throwback. But I'm not really a Transformers fan, so that's as far as this really goes for me. This is pretty cool. I'll admit it. This is the Ecto-1 if it was a Transformer. As a Transformer, it's fine. That looks fine, I guess. It's just your standard Power Rangers Megazord looking thing. But I gotta admit, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's it right there. That is, without a doubt, the Ecto-1. And so, I mean, the illusion is very well done. To think that this thing opens up, looking very much like the Ghostbusters car. It's done very well. And then it opens up to be this. And I gotta hand it to him. Like, there's the Ghostbusters uniform right there. It's got the name tag. He's wearing a proton pack. The wire comes down and goes to the gun. It's impressive. For what it is, that is actually pretty cool, even if I don't necessarily care about Transformers. I gotta hand it to them. When they do something right, they do something right. They did tease a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover in the last Transformers movie. I thought I heard something about that. Yeah, I did. I did not see it for myself, but I heard about it. Then there's the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff that's about to be crossing over. So we have Raphael Transformer that turns into the party wagon. And that's pretty cool. I like how the top of the van is his turtle shell. I mean, that works, right? That's actually pretty good. I see that these are swords right here, so I don't know if this is something like, do you switch the heads and the belt whenever you want and get the different, because I'm looking at, like, there's nunchucks right there. So is that what we're doing here? That's a Donatello head? Is that what we're doing? That would be interesting. Why is he just has a pizza? Oh, the pizza is the belt, and it looks like it comes off, so you must get multiple pizzas, and then you could change the pizza to be the letter you want or something like that for the turtle you want, because it looks like this has the swords and everything. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm looking at here. You can have it become whichever one of the turtles that you want. Okay. And when it's not the turtles or a metalhead, because that's like metalhead right there, which is also kind of cool. So you also get like a metalhead thing. And there we go. Look, I'm not a Transformers fan, but I'll give it to them. This is creative. It is legit pretty cool. I will give it to them. It is legit pretty cool. So, I wanted to see this before we moved on to my last thing. And actually, holy crap. 159? That's it? Look, I'm not a Thundercats guy myself, but I got to admit, that's solid. Like, that is really, really cool. Look, when you do something right, you do something right. I don't even have to be in your fan base to tell you that you did something really cool. $150? And I know Iron Studios. Iron Studios does some pretty solid work. I bought a Sorceress from them. Already did the review and everything on the channel here. So, like, they already have my plus here. So I know that this Trapjaw is going to be solid. 180 bucks. He's pretty... Oh, he's got multiple arms? Okay, now that impresses me. That shocks me. I'll bet you that's where the extra money comes from. Otherwise, he's probably a $150 sculpt as well. Look, man, it's done well. Like I said, when you do something well, and at the price point that they're selling these things at, Iron Studios kicks ass. They kick ass. But this is what I want to see. Whew, 200 bucks. So this is the Eternian Goddess. I know they're calling it Teela Warrior Goddess. This has pretty much been retconned at this point. This is the Eternian Goddess. It is not Teela. But, that being said, this is pretty cool. 200 bucks. This is a skip for me. Again, like I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing Mondo. But I will admit that this is pretty cool. And maybe, had this been Teela, not the Eternian Goddess, because that's what this is. This is the Eternian Goddess. I know that it's Masters of the Universe, Teela, Warrior Goddess, and I know the original Teela was released with the snake armor and everything, and the play factor was supposed to be that when she wore all the armor and everything, she was the sorceress. And when she wasn't wearing the armor, she was Teela, she was the warrior goddess. And I know that later on they redid her and they casted her in green, and then that was supposed to be the Eternian Goddess and yada yada yada. It is pretty much universally understood now that the green-skinned woman is not Teela, it is the Eternian Goddess. And then there's a bunch of arguments to be had about how the continuity and the canon works in Motu, but I have argued this since day one. The canon of Motu is malleable, and it always has been. It has been from the very first mini-comic, to the very first toy, to the very first series. It is a D&D aspect. Every time you tell the story, even with the same characters and the same players, the story is different somehow. Every single time. So we don't get too hung up on continuity, but in this case, Teela, for me, that is Teela. Green is not Teela. It is a different concept altogether. Unless you're talking about Snake Teela, that is still Teela. And unless you're talking about the other Teela, who is now the Snake Sorceress Teela that we have that's coming out to Masterverse, that's also Teela. But these are Teelas from storylines with explanations, where the warrior the warrior goddess, who was really blonde Teela, that was blonde Teela from the first couple mini-comics. The Eternian Goddess is the green skin. So now I'm getting super nerdy here, but it's a nerdy that helps me walk away and not spend money on something, and I'm fine with that because I got to save for the Teela that I got to save for. So what is on sale right now, and we're not gonna buy anything, but look, Silverhawks Ultimates are on sale. You can get a Revelation. You can get Revelation He-Man or Faker right now for basically $10 a piece. So if you have Vicron parts, or you're just looking to kind of make your own figure, these are good standard bucks that you could take and work with on your own. We have a Batman DC Multiverse action figure. I believe this is the McFarlane Toys from the new movie. Yeah, the Batman. That's exactly what this is. He's okay. I mean, he looks right, but yeah, I'm uninterested. And I'm guessing a lot of other people were uninterested too, because he's already all the way down to $12. What is that? Silverhawk's Ultimate Transformation Chamber Throne? I don't know anything about Silverhawks, I guess. That's fair. I guess I actually don't. It's been a very, very long time since I've even seen them on accident. You could also get the Penguin, currently all the way down to $6. You can get the Bruce Wayne Drifter figure all the way down to $6. $64. Who's a Beast Kingdom Joker statue? Is that what that is? Oh, wait a second. What scale are you? 1/9 scale? That's a bit of a weird scale. 8.7 inches. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I know why this isn't selling off the racks. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. I don't think that that's something that people are going to be like, oh no, we missed out. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is another night in the books. We hung out. We did some stuff. We talked about some figures. We saw some figures. We did what we did, right? Okay. Not a bad night, in all honesty. Not a bad night at all. And I got to open a new figure. I'm happy about that. Add that to the shelf. Getting out of here at a relatively decent time. Actually, early enough that I could probably go down and probably knock out an episode or two of this Scooby-Doo DVD that I bought, which I've been waiting to put in and kind of try out. So I think I'm going to get out of here. I have a fairly early morning tomorrow because I got to pick up my kid I got to drive like nearly 50 minutes to go get her. And then I got to make my way back here. We got to have breakfast. We have to take care of the dogs. And then we're supposed to go with my dad to the movies. And then we'll come off of my dad from the movies. We'll come back here and then we'll take care of the dogs. And then we'll have to take care of the dogs. We'll be back out to do dinner with my dad. It sounds like it's going to be a fairly busy, off the wall, driving all over the place day. But sometimes those are good days, right? And it's not like, look, I could use a decent Saturday. I could use a decent Saturday just kind of hanging out, seeing my dad and everything. So there's nothing wrong with that. Off to celebrate the 6-day long weekend I got. Dude, enjoy the shit out of that, man. That is fucking awesome news. Enjoy that all day. Like, that's awesome, dude. Do everything you can with it, man. Do everything you can with it. I wish you the absolute best vacation, staycation that you could possibly have. I really do. And for what it's worth, thank you guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I know everybody likes to say that. It's like the thing that YouTubers do and everything. They're like, thanks, and push the subscribe button. That is not me. I'm not about to tell you to do that. I do not do that here. It's not me. It's absolutely not me. I do not beg for views. I do not beg for clips. I do not clicks. I do not do the subscribe. I do not do the likes and yada yadas. If it happens, it happens. And because of that, I know that everybody that sticks around, they're vocal. We hang out. We talk. We get to know each other. It's a decent little community that we build here over time. Some people are absolutely not here for this here. They don't want to do the live thing. And hey, that's fine. That's why I do this once a week, and then I post actual episodes throughout the course of the week that are a completely different kind of thing about that. Man, they're a completely different kind of thing, and I completely get that. And that's the realness of it. But this channel is kind of blowing my mind. I think we hit 960 today. And it's going up. It's going up by like anywhere from like 1 to 5 like almost 1 to 5 a day sometimes. It surprises me, to say the least, that the channel is blowing up the way it is. And whatever you guys are here for one way or another, fantastic, man. And I've tried everything I can to keep a positive attitude on this channel and everything, which I think is easier for me here than it is on some of my other stuff. Have a good Easter. And hope you, yeah, I imagine, I think I might see Shane this weekend. I don't know about Nick, and if I do see Shane, it would be after I eat, so it'd be like 6, 7 o'clock at night. But it sounds like I might see him tomorrow, and I need to talk to him about a couple things in general. You'll be working Easter weekend. Hey, man, don't feel bad. My company does not recognize Easter as a holiday. If it wasn't for the fact that it was on a Sunday, we would be working it. Just like we work Good Friday, we work a lot of things that would be considered holidays in other companies and whatnot. But hey, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? And look, I get this comment, actually, and you are not the first person to tell me this, that we've spent literally so much time hanging out and talking in terms of text, in terms of actual voice, because you've been on the Discord, we've talked directly, you've been on the show multiple times. Like, you're not the first or last person to tell me this, actually. And I think it's because, like I said, over time, I don't beg for subs, I don't beg for likes, I don't beg for clicks, because anybody that sticks around here, they become part of the real community. We talk, we hang out, we spend time, we get to know each other. I recognize who you are when you come into the chat because you're here and you're vocal and it's normal. You get what I'm saying? I know the people that comment on my material on a regular basis. Like, I talk to them in a different way than I think, I would if it was a different kind of thing. If I was in here being like, oh, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and pound that subscribe button, and just pound it in there, just punch the shit out of it. Like, at that point, the subs that you get, it's good, but it also becomes impractical and unrealistic because as they go up, I don't want subs that never come back. You get what I'm saying? I would rather have more realistic, hey, this guy watched a video, he wasn't asked to do so, he liked it enough or liked my personality or was into whatever he was into enough to be like, oh crap. And then he clicked it because there was an actual connection there between two people that liked something or were interested in something or had something to talk about, rather than what I see on so many other channels, which is just, and the fake subs that they're like, oh yeah, don't remember if you're subscribed and you leave a comment and you do all this other stuff and you share my video, I'm going to be giving away a thing. Those views aren't real. The subs aren't real. They're not sticking around. You know what I mean? So I think that really changes how the dynamic works. Holiday paid for that. So, okay, that's awesome. I'm glad that you get holiday pay, man, because some companies, they won't even do that. They just make you work. It's recognized. So anyways, guys, really, I am getting out of here. I gotta go wind down and everything like that. Probably watch a show for a little while and then basically take a nap because my dog ain't gonna let me sleep forever. I'll tell you that. Absolutely not. Huskies, you wake up when the sun comes up. The husky is awake. It's time for you to be awake. Row, 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 and they gotta slap you in the face while they bark at you. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So, later on, guys, take it easy. I appreciate it. And of course, I will be back here next Friday, and there will be random videos throughout the course of the week.